Some places are built for learning, for growth, for shaping young minds. But what if the lessons taught are ones of terror, and the spirits of the past refuse to graduate? This is Old Belltower High School in Salem, Massachusetts. From the outside, it looks like a classic, stately school, its brick facade and towering bell tower echoing history. But behind its familiar classrooms and silent hallways lies a horrifying truth. It is a hotbed of relentless paranormal activity, where the echoes of tragedy still ring loud. Years ago, Old Belltower High was a respected institution, bustling with students and teachers. However, its history was tragically marred by a series of grim events. Local whispers speak of a devastating boiler explosion in the 1950s that trapped and killed several students and a beloved janitor in the basement. Later, a student vanished without a trace from the auditorium stage during a play rehearsal. Though investigations were inconclusive, strange occurrences plagued the school ever since. Lights would flicker wildly, lockers would slam shut on their own, and disembodied whispers echoed from empty classrooms. Subsequent staff and even new students reported terrifying apparitions and physical assaults, especially during after-hours events. Driven by fear and constant disruption, the school board eventually closed the building, abandoning it to its spectral inhabitants. Our paranormal investigation team, drawn by the school's grim history and chilling tales, ventured into its deserted halls, hoping to uncover the truth behind Belltower's haunting. The team, comprising a lead investigator, a sensitive medium specializing in locations with concentrated residual energy, and a technical specialist, began their setup after official permission was granted to enter the sealed building. The once vibrant classrooms and bustling hallways were now unsettlingly still, casting long shadows under their powerful work lights. The air inside was immediately heavy, thick with the stale scent of old chalk dust, disinfectant, and a palpable tension, almost electric. Their high-tech gear, advanced thermal cameras, highly sensitive EVP recorders, precise EMF detectors, and the spirit box was meticulously prepared. Every cautious step on the scuffed linoleum floors echoed loudly through the unnaturally quiet space, amplifying the profound stillness. The oppressive weight of countless lives lived, learned, and tragically ended here pressed down on them. Dust motes danced in their flashlight beams, creating a disorienting haze, and the feeling of being watched was instantaneous and pervasive, as if countless unseen eyes peered from every darkened doorway and desk. Within moments of stepping into the main entrance hall, where students once gathered, the school began to make its chilling presence known, not with a bang, but with insidious, unsettling phenomena. Disembodied whispers, faint as a breath, seemed to caress their ears from empty hallways, too indistinct to form clear words, but undeniably present, like forgotten lessons or desperate pleas. One investigator felt a distinct, sudden cold spot pass directly through them, an icy shock that made them gasp, the temperature dropping several degrees instantly, despite the building's mild internal temperature. Then a sharp, rhythmic tapping sound began emanating from within an old, rusted locker bank, precise and deliberate, like fingers drumming impatiently from behind the metal, slowly growing louder and more insistent before abruptly ceasing, leaving behind a chilling quiet that felt even heavier than before. The locker doors shimmered faintly. As the team moved deeper into the school, exploring the main classrooms, the library, and the science labs, the activity intensified, becoming more pronounced and alarming. The narrow aisles between desks felt claustrophobic. EMF detectors began to spike erratically near the blackboard in specific classrooms and around the remnants of lab equipment, their lights flashing red, indicating intense, anomalous energy fluctuations that defied natural explanation. In a former history classroom, a heavy wooden ruler, securely placed on a teacher's desk, slowly, deliberately began to slide across the polished surface on its own, its clatter muffled before stopping at the very edge of the desk, almost falling to the floor. No discernible vibration or structural shift was present. This was a chilling display of unseen, calculated force, a direct interaction with common school objects. The medium, a vital and sensitive part of the team, began to experience profound shifts in emotion, describing overwhelming feelings of intense confusion, desperation, and profound sadness emanating directly from the empty auditorium. They felt the overwhelming fear of the vanished student, the echoes of their final performance, and the despair of a life cut short. As they directed questions towards the silent stage, the spirit box erupted with fragmented voices and garbled sounds. Amidst the static, clear, undeniable words emerged, spoken in a terrified, high-pitched voice. Behind the curtain, followed by a terrifying, guttural scream that seemed to tear through the very air, raw and primal, causing everyone to recoil in horror. It was a scream of pure, unadulterated agony and terror, echoing a moment of brutal disappearance or hopeless despair, perhaps connected to the student's fate. The medium clutched their head, overwhelmed by the psychic imprint of this devastating event.
The peak of the night's terror occurred in the dark, damp boiler room in the basement, the site of the most catastrophic tragedy. The air here was thick with an almost suffocating dread and reeked intensely of mildew, damp earth, and a faint, acrid smell that hinted at old soot, burnt metal, and desperation. As the team meticulously set up their specialized equipment, a distinct, heavy, rasping breathing sound began to emanate from behind a rusted boiler. Not human, but an echoing, labored sound, as if something monstrous was trapped or dying. Then, one of the thermal cameras, designed to detect heat signatures, picked up an undeniable anomaly. A human-sized heat signature, clear and distinct against the freezing cold background, briefly appeared near a collapsed pipe, distorted and menacing, standing for a few seconds before dissipating into nothingness. It was an unmistakable apparition, a spectral figure caught on thermal imaging, providing visual confirmation of an unseen presence trying to guard its domain. Then, without warning, a sudden, powerful push sent one of the investigators stumbling backward violently, losing their footing. Their camera clattered to the ground, still recording the chaotic scene. They cried out in surprise and fear, immediately describing unseen hands grabbing at their legs, a terrifying sensation of being pulled or dragged across the grimy concrete floor. When they managed to scramble back up, distinct marks appeared on their arms and legs, red and stark against their skin, consistent with intense pressure or grasping, like the raw imprints of spectral fingers. Panic began to set in among the entire team, their professional calm fracturing under the relentless assault. The spirit box, now a cacophony of distorted whispers and frantic pleas, seemed to be screaming, a horrifying chorus of tormented voices rising to an unbearable crescendo, an unbearable cacophony of agony and rage that threatened to drive them mad. The room temperature plummeted even further, dropping to freezing point, and the sickening smell of dampness, decay, and something indescribably foul, like old bodily fluids and putrefaction, intensified, becoming so thick and pervasive it made breathing difficult, threatening to choke them. It became terrifyingly clear whatever entities remained within Old Belltower High School were not merely lingering echoes of past despair. They were active, aggressive, and deeply, profoundly disturbed. They were sentient beings, aware of the living intruders, and they reacted with pure, unadulterated hostility born from unimaginable pain and enduring rage. This seemingly ordinary school was indeed cursed, its very foundations imbued with malevolence. The team, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity and undeniable malevolence, made the immediate and critical call to evacuate. There was no discussion, only an urgent shared understanding that their safety and sanity were in grave peril. They quickly gathered their most essential equipment, leaving other, less vital items behind in their desperate haste to escape the oppressive energy that now consumed the boiler room. They rushed out into the cold Salem night, the chilling sounds of the school fading behind them, yet indelibly imprinted on their minds. The physical exhaustion was immense, but the psychological toll was even greater, leaving them shaken to their core, with the phantom screams of a lost past still echoing in their ears. Old Belltower High School stands today, a silent, imposing monument to a dark and brutal past. Its classrooms and hallways still echo with torment. Its secrets are very much alive, clinging to its old lockers and dusty chalkboards. Local whispers of strange lights and phantom cries persist among Salem residents, confirming the team's terrifying encounters. What truly unleashed such malevolence? Is it the spirits of the boiler victims trapped in an endless fire? Or the lost student seeking a final bow? Who or what still haunts its endless corridors, inflicting fear and vengeance on any who dare to enter? The questions remain, haunting and unanswered. The curse of this place has not ended. This investigation leaves us with a profound sense of unease, a chilling realization that even our most mundane, everyday locations can harbor unspeakable horrors, their dark pasts forever sealed within their confines, guarding the tormented souls they contain. If this descent into the chilling reality of Old Belltower High School sent shivers down your spine, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more chilling investigations. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journey into the unknown. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you believe truly haunts Old Belltower High in Salem? Until next time, stay vigilant and beware the lessons taught after hours.